Hi there, my name's Tony Mobbs. I'm a Cub leader at First North Sydney. This presentation is for parents so they can better understand what Scouts is all about and how they can assist their child through the program. A good way to figure out what happens at Scouts is to look at some photos, and here you can see lots of smiling faces as they engage in all manner of exciting activities. The objectives of Scouting is to contribute to the development of young people in achieving their physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual potential. We offer a range of skills that they can participate in and develop. They're meant to be fun, challenging, adventurous. And fun fact, did you know that 11 out of the 12 astronauts who walked on the moon were Scouts? Certainly individuals who achieved their potential. The program, each term the youth members hold a unit council where individually they propose activities and then collectively agree on what the priorities are for that term. For Joeys and Cubs, the leaders then use this information to structure a program, making sure that the unit council's priorities are implemented, as well as all the scouting requirements are met. Milestone badges. Just to start with, badges are evidence of a successful learning and successful program. Milestones recognise progression through the weekly program of scoutings. Each section, Joeys, Cubs, Scouts, etc., has their own 3 badges. So when you transition between sections, you start the badges afresh. To get a badge takes roughly 1 year, and you have to do 20 participations, assisting and leading. These numbers shown here are averages, and participation is really about turning up and engaging in the activities. Assisting is assisting a leader or assisting others to do their task. And leading is where you take, where the youth member actually leads an activity, such as leading a game, or if they know how to do a particular skill like tying a knot, they can show others how to tie the knot. Outdoor adventure skills are the next set of badges. There are 9 of them in total. 6 of them are called land and water badges. And these badges can be done anywhere. We do these activities in Scouts as well, but you can do them elsewhere as well. So for instance, swimming. Many children do swimming lessons and will satisfy the requirements of badges through their external swimming lessons. Same with rock climbing or cycling or skiing, where the child might be doing skiing lessons externally and they can get credit for that in the scouting program. The 3 core badges, though, are scouting activities only: bushwalking, bushcraft, and camping. The core activities can only be performed with scouting. And so it doesn't matter how much camping you do with your parents or with school or with church or anything else, only the camping nights spent with Scouts count towards these badges. And that's mainly because the way Scouts do things is a bit different. There's lots of things about independence and having a complete range of skills relevant to camping and bushwalking that we focus on. The other interesting thing about the outdoor adventure skills is that they perfectly align with the vocation, education, and training requirements. Roughly, differs between the badges, but roughly, a level 5 badge is equivalent to a vocation, education, training certificate 1, through to level 9, which is a vet certificate 4, or it might even be at the diploma level. These badges carry on between sections. So if you get a Camping 1 badge as a Joey, you'll keep that badge and continue to wear it when you're a Cub until, that is, you get the next badge up. Logbooks are a requirement for OAS progression. The good news is a simple spreadsheet or a scrap of paper is all you need. Some badges relate exclusively to the logbook, and you can see them here on the right-hand side. There's the camping badge and the bushwalking badge. Once you've done 10 nights under the canvas, you can get the 10 badge. And once you've walked 10 kilometres with Scouts, you can then get the walkabout badge. Who updates the logbook? Typically, the leaders will update the logbooks for Joeys using our system called Terrain, which I'll come to in a moment. Cubs, we expect the parents to start getting involved. The leaders will assist, but by the time the youth members are Scout, we expect the youth member to be completely responsible for their own logbook. Here you can see an example of the logbook. It's simply the date, the activity, the number of nights or kilometres that you've walked or camped, and the name of the verifier. The verifier is typically either the event organiser or another responsible adult in the event. Special interest awards are the last of the 3 badges we'll look at in this presentation. These are awarded for individual pursuits. The duration of the activities has to be 2 hours for Joeys, 4 hours for Cubs, 6 hours for Scouts, etc. Now, very often, parents are the best place to help choose the activities. They know their children well, and they know what the interests are. It's often a matter of fashioning those existing interests into a badge. So at Scouts, we use a plan, do, review approach to these badges. If you're stuck, just chat to a leader and we can help you work out how to transition an interest that your child has into a special interest award. Just some examples. Maybe your child is doing martial arts. That can be easily turned into a sport and adventure special interest award. Maybe your child is doing the Premier's Reading Challenge, which would satisfy the Arts and Literature badge. Maybe your child is participating in Clean Up Australia Day, which would satisfy the requirements for the Environment badge, and so on. The Peak Awards represent the pinnacle in each section, and to get your Peak Award, you essentially have to cover the badges, all of the badges that we've just discussed. So you need 6 special interest awards. You need a number of outdoor adventure skills. So Joeys need 6, Cubs need 8, Scouts need 10, etc. You need all 3 milestones. For Cubs and above, you need to attend a personal development course, an adventurous journey, and a personal reflection. My advice for these badges is you need to engage early with a leader to let us know that your child is interested in achieving their Peak Award. The key to success is to start early with badges and keep going. As a word of warning, if your child is in the last year of their section, so they maybe have been a Cub for 2 years and they're in their 3rd year now, if they don't have a lot of badges, if they haven't made a good start already, it's probably too late. 12 months is just, in my experience, insufficient to get the Peak Award. Scouts Terrain is our online system for recording progression. For Joeys, we expect the leaders to do the data entry, and as it progresses, that transitions to the parents and then to the youth member themselves. In the early stages, we suggest that the parents get involved with Terrain, get familiar with it, so they can add achievements to their child as and when they are achieved. Youth protection. Now, this is without doubt the least favourite topic I'll ever discuss as a Scout. And the reason it's my least favourable is because it reminds me that in society there are predators out and about. So youth protection is our number 1 priority, but it's everybody's responsibility at Scouts. The protocols we use to enhance youth safety are what we call 2 deep. It's where you have a minimum of 2 adults and they must be present in the company of youth members. There are no exceptions. The second is in sight but out of hearing. So if a private conversation needs to be had to do with badge progression or behavioural issues, it's expected that the leader and the youth member will just move a few metres away from the group so that they can have a more quiet conversation, but their conversation must be within the sight of everyone else. It cannot be in a closed room. All parents, leaders, adults must immediately report suspicious behaviour to the police or Scouts New South Wales. Youth protection near misses. There's a couple of situations which parents should be aware of to help us leaders so that we all are compliant together. So when you're dropping your child to the hall, please don't leave them at the hall until there's more than a few adults in attendance. Just by way of example, as a leader, I'll normally get to the hall 15-20 minutes before the meeting to set up the tables, sweep the floor, put the flag up, etc. Sometimes I've had parents drop their child off and the child walks into the hall and all of a sudden I'm alone with a child, and so I immediately have to exit the building, lock the door behind me and go into the street and wait for others to turn up. So please, adults, if you do drop your children early, please make sure there are lots of other adults in attendance before you leave. Sometimes you might have a group of people, group of adults, and the adults start leaving one by one. And sometimes the fact that you've only got 2 adults left sneaks up on you. As soon as you've only got 2 adults left, you should just confirm that neither of you can leave until another adult is present. Sometimes if you might be in a room and inadvertently a child comes in, or vice versa, if anything like that happens and you see it about to happen as another parent, onlooking parent, please speak up and tell the leader, "Oi, can't go in there, there's some children present, you'd be alone with them." Or follow the parent in. So if I've got to go into the hall to get, say, some soccer balls or something, and there's another parent that is aware that there's children in the hall, please just follow me in so that we can all just get on with it, the business of scouting. The expectations of youth leaders and parents. This is known as the Australian Scout Law. If you're respectful, doing what's right, and believing in yourself, that's the fair expectation of all members involved in the Scouting Association. The expectation of leaders. Us leaders are volunteers. We're also parents, but we're there in a capacity as volunteer. It's a fair expectation that we'll complete our Scout training and that we will prepare programs that are fun, exciting, challenging and adventurous. The expectations of parents. I have 10 of them here. It's to encourage your child to know and follow the Scout Law. When your child is awarded a badge, please sew it on. If you're at the hall and you see that something needs cleaning, please clean it. If you're at the hall and you see that something's broken, please fix it if you can. When your child's attending camp, please help pack and unpack the trailer. If you see a leader struggling, please offer to help. If you see a child struggling, please tell a leader. If you see a hazard or perceive excessive risk, please immediately tell a leader. If you have a suggestion, please tell a leader. I'm often asked the question, should parents attend or not? My preference is that parents do attend, and I encourage parents to attend. However, please limit conversations in the hall. If it gets noisy, it definitely interrupts the flow of the meeting. And also, please be sensitive to your child's emerging desire for independence. Parents might start attending with their Joey, but when their child becomes a cub or whenever, eventually the child wants a level of independence, and just be sensitive to that and move further away. Adult helpers. So in addition to the leaders, we need adult helpers. These are essentially parents. And we need parents in all these situations, weekly meetings, camps, region events, etc. To become an adult helper, the first thing you need to do is to get your Working with Children check. You then register with Scouts New South Wales and we'll organise a police check. There are 2 items of training that you need to do. It takes about an hour to do. Work health and safety for scouting and child safe scouting. This is to give you a basic level of the minimum standards of safety. Communication, we did a survey. There's loads of ways of doing communication with parents, email, etc. We did a recent survey and we've discovered that WhatsApp is the preferred method of communication. So for Cubs at North Sydney, we'll be using WhatsApp. Spirituality, a question I often get asked is, what does spirituality mean in the scouting context? Well, the first thing to remember is that scouting is inclusive and open to all. Scouts itself is not a religious organisation. It has no religious or faith affiliations, no faith or religious requirements of any kind. However, Scouts does encourage youth members to explore their own feelings and beliefs regarding their purpose in life, how they connect with others, and their place in the world around them. To give life to this version of spirituality, we hold what's called a Scouts Own. And here on the right is a photo of a Scouts Own in process. It's where the youth members and adults and parents, leaders, are given the opportunity to express gratitude for the things in life, nature, community and family that make them happy. A few miscellaneous points. Social media. Parents, very welcome to post pictures of your own children on your own social media, but please do not post pictures of other children unless that parent has given you specific permission to do so. As a leader, I will post things occasionally, but I won't post pictures of single individuals. I will do group photos involving many Scouts involved in an activity, and we don't include the names or the places on the photos. You're welcome to bring a friend, very welcome, and very encouraged to bring a friend of your child and come along for a free look, come along for 1 or 2 visits. It's fantastic. The next question I get asked often is when to transition to the next section. So Joey's, for instance, is aged 5 to 8, and Cubs is aged 8 to 11. Now you can see there's an overlap there. So the question is, when do you transition? My advice is make sure you, if you can, transition with a friend. It's often good to transition at the end of a school term, but my strong advice is sooner rather than later. Doing 3 years of Joey's is going to get bored for someone in their 4th year there. They need to move up to Cubs to start a new round of exciting activities. That concludes the presentation. Please text me or WhatsApp me or email me if you have any questions. Thanks so much.